Gabby the game night, Gabby the game night, Gabby the game night, yay.
Oh God, that was horrifying.
That is all, Your Honor.
Everyone! Can we keep this private, please? My story, my scoop!
Forgery. That's a serious crime.
Drew Measham is known as an artist these days. But there were rumors he dabbled in another kind of art until a few years back.
Another art meaning forgery?
Drew Measham was talented, all right. Talented at making precise, detailed fakes. A fact that certain criminal elements were quick to discover.
Criminal elements? What? You can't seriously be talking about.
Exactly! I'm talking about forging evidence. The rumor started circulating 7 years ago.
7 years ago? So are we to understand that this letter, this payment of $100,000 was for?
Exactly. Forged evidence nets tidy profit. End quote.
Order! Why, it's like our victim was living a double life. Aha, there's my chance. So the victim has ties to the criminal world, right? He could have had plenty of enemies we know nothing about.
This is my first time hearing of this criminal world. We certainly found no criminal connections when we conducted our investigation.
How do you explain all this money? You have to admit there's a possibility of some illegal activity here.
But there is no proof tying this letter to our case. Our case was and remains simple from the beginning. Only the defendant could have poisoned that mug that night.
And you, of course.
Oh, and you, of course.
Hey! The one thing I poison is my pen when I'm writing interviews.
Mr. Bushell, your testimony to this point has been quite unreliable. It doesn't speak well of your reporting acumen. Acumen.
Journalism so solid you could stand an elephant on it. End quote.
In any case, let's hear someone's recap of your testimony. If we can ascertain the situation in the studio from the recap, the trial is over. Apollo, what is he talking about? The cross-examination showed that Mr. Bushell didn't have reason or means to poison him. As long as there were no other suspects. And the killer had to be valid, that's what. This next testimony is our last chance. Mr. Bushell, your testimony, please.
Really?
The only other person in the studio that night was the defendant. It was Vera who poured the coffee. She's admitted as much herself. The only thing that touched Drew's lips during the interview was that mug. And nothing left that studio after he died. Nothing. Clearly the only one who could have poisoned him was his daughter.
I'm gonna have to disagree there, champ.
A nice testimony, clear, succinct, and without room for doubt.
There's room for doubt.
Oh, shucks, you really think so?
I believe this clarifies the situation that night. I believe it doesn't. Well, Mr. Justice, you may begin your final cross-examination. Right. Just have one trump card left to play. I won't let this trial end until I use it. Punching you in the face and running away. That on? You have the press button. And we know the stamp, I assume, had the poison on it. What do you think, Apollo? Everything you're saying seems so not flawed. It's kind of what you want from the testimony, really. Keep my eye on what matters. How and why was Drew Measham killed? Gotta put the coffee, that's not going to change. If that coffee didn't kill him, I need to find what did and prove it. They can press on one of the latest statements, maybe. Coffee doesn't really matter. Stamp is what killed him.
If you want to stop on a certain one, you should have said so.
Well, just press one below. This team.
I have to press?
Yeah, you have the press button.
I
You
do?
have L.
Oh. Look, I haven't played the game in a long time. Which one do you want me to click on?
One of the last three, probably. I think that one or the last one. Try and get to the stamp that killed him, I assume. Not one thing, you're sure?
Yep, sure as can be.
What do we do here?
Well, with one exception.
One exception? What?
Journalist Spark Marshall does interview. Leave studio. End quote. Oh, come on. It's a joke. Get it? Not funny, I know, but still.
Something leaked the studio that night. Oh, that sounds familiar, but I heard something like that before. Maybe whenever this is a comedian of sorts. Like, to our defense point. Do you have any idea what, if anything, might have left the studio that night? Ooh, we might have a thing, you know, the stamp. Maybe, perchance.
I can't press the button on it. You have to, don't you?
I can name one thing. I think one thing might very well have left the studio that night, actually. Something that has vanished from the crime scene. By which you mean? Some other witness? Of course.
Don't tell me. Veramasham.
Believe me, any comic relief I may provide is entirely unintentional. Then that's who we've got for us, Mr. Justice. Well, the thing wasn't at the crime scene, so I can't show it to you. But there is evidence that shows how it could have been taken from the scene. Oh, yeah.
No, which one?
The frame with that wolf
The
had
frame?
stamp.
This one?
Yeah, wolf had a stamp as the poison on it. Probably. That's what I'm thinking. No? Am I stupid?
I find Prosecutor Gavin more amusing than this guy, really.
If that was comic relief, why do I not feel amused?
What else was taken? What else do we have evidence that Sir has taken? I suppose show the fucking letterbox. And that's how the stamp was taken.
Here you go. Do it.
Yeah, and then like 3 things gonna show the stamp. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, I'm too far ahead. This is the only link between the studio and the outside world. A letterbox? What did Mr. Brussels tell us when he entered the studio on the night of the murder? The victim had just finished writing a letter.
Yeah, I said that. And yeah, it was true.
Furthermore, you went on to tell us they put the letter in a yellow envelope and put it in the letterbox. Ah! The face in the letterbox was empty, in other words. That night, the yellow envelope disappeared.
Ah, yes. Intriguing. So an envelope has disappeared from the scene of the crime. Of course, this changes nothing.
Huh? He has a point, Miss Justice. What we're trying to figure out is how the poison got into Mr. Measham. It's really important that this envelope the witness says he saw disappeared. Well, if it did disappear, something did leave the studio that night. Seems very important to me. Very well then, the witness will add this to his testimony.
You got it.
I still think this fails to change anything, Herr Forehead.
I wouldn't be so sure. A letter disappeared from the crime scene that night. It's exactly the opening I've been looking for. So we press this.
What was it? I don't know. Wait, are the perception things up now? Are we supposed to do perception?
No, that's not lit up.
Oh, it has to be lit up?
Yeah.
I didn't see it earlier. Are you sure?
Yeah, I can't do perception, see? It has to be lit up to be able to do perception.
I was trying to read through it.
Oh.
Alright, so it's already through. Is that the first one?
This is the one that was just added.
Oh. Well, so... Okay. A letter was put in the post from the studio about her. I think that matters.
And everything else is already here.
Yeah, but the one about touching his lips still seems more relevant.
I think we should press this.
Oh, well, then press it.
You have to press button!
Oh my god.
Nothing could be more serious than envelope disappearing from that studio. And you're hiding that fact from us. Oh, yes, well, exactly!
I don't argue the possibility the letter disappeared from the studio. But Herr Forehead, isn't there a much more serious question before us?
Right, how Mr. Mission points I know. Mr. Bush's testimony has changed, meaning facts the case if I have too. And what he's told us means something entirely different I'm starting to think. Just keep thinking, Apollo. Do we have to present that? I'm saving real quick. Press left. And now do we present the letter mentioning the stamp? Where the stamp would be? What? What are you thinking?
Why are we presenting something here? What was said?
Well, we know the stamp had the poison on it because it was in that little stamp case. But we gotta get to that point. So right now we have the letter disappearing. But I don't think we even have proof that the stamp is in that case. But we have the letter mentioning the stamp. The red letter mentioned the stamp. The stamp is in that little case. And that case has the poison in it.
The red letter mentioned the stamp? I don't remember that.
Yeah, go to red letter.
Yo, I got a poison stamp here. Want to check it out?
Next page. It's in the enclosed envelope with the enclosed stamp.
It's in Well, I don't know that that's mentioning that stamp. That's just mentioning they sent him a letter and a stamp. It's like a self-addressed stamped envelope. We gave you a stamp to send it back to us.
But that stamp was probably poisoned.
If you say so.
So present the letter then?
That's not what I was thinking, but that seems to be what you're thinking.
I'm not saying that, I'm asking you.
I don't even know. I told you, I thought the stuff touching his lips was more important.
Go down, it was wrong.
Go down? Is that what you said?
We're working on it. Flush left.
Look, I didn't ask to take the other controller.
Well, typically when a new thing is added, we work on that, not...
It was forced upon me.
Something else. If you don't want the controller, I'll give it back.
Well, I just want you to enjoy your game. So you're complaining about me. I object, Your Honor. Here's my reasoning. It may be flawed. Should need some seasoning. Sorry. Did you just quit?
No.
Everything got quiet.
I loaded because I don't know what the next step on this trail is. It's pissing me off.
You doing that ass like interiors? I don't envy you editing this video. I said, I don't envy you editing this video.
Goodbye.
Well, let's just say if you have some proof. Plus, that fits. Plus, Mr. Measham ingested that poison via a route other than coffee. I found something, probably.
Hooray for you.
Proof is possible.
You do understand what we need, yeah? Proof, Herr Forehead, not possibilities.
Of course, and Prosecutor Gabby. I hope you understand. I'm ready to give you that proof.
What did you say?
I have proof of the disappearing envelope.
I saw him writing a letter. I did.
She picked it up by the mailman, I assume. Of course, which means the envelope had a stamp on it. As we all know, stamps come with dried glue on the back. In order to use the glue, you have to wet it by licking the stamp. There are all over that stamp.
No one worth talking to actually licks stamps in this day and age.
To a lick on that stamp. I'll kill myself now. Even if you wanted to talk to him, you couldn't. He's dead after all.
Okay, so he licked the stamp. But wait, how does that explain the atroquinine on the rim of the coffee mug?
If you lick the back of a poison stamp, the poison would get on his tongue, yes? What would then happen if you put the coffee mug to his mouth? You a silly goose there? You silly goose. Those traces on the mug weren't the killer's doing, it was the other way around. What? The coffee mug didn't poison Mr. Measham. Mr. Measham poisoned the coffee mug himself. Order! Order! But that doesn't... Recall, if you would. Atroquinine is a slow-acting poison, yes? The poison entered his body when he put the stamp on that envelope. But his time wasn't up until the very moment he touched his lips to that cup of joe.
Yo, Joe.
That's on the ad, Mr. Bristle. Oh, his nose picked up another scent.
As I believe I mentioned earlier. Well, that's the thing, see? After he put his letter in the envelope, Mr. Measham sat there searching his desk drawer for something. Yes, a stamp. A so-called postage stamp. End quote. But you know, I don't seem to remember him ever finding one.
Maybe he just went out?
Incidentally, we searched the desk drawer at the scene of the crime. There were no stamps, not a single one.
That does pose a problem. How do you prove that stamp was coated with poison? Actually, I'm glad to know the stamp's found. Makes proving the stamp he used was poison possible.
Good show, good show. You can't even prove there was a stamp at the scene in the first place.
Well, that's what the defense has to say anyway. Where's your evidence that proves the existence of this poison stamp? The letter saying, STAMP! More Prosecutor Gavin?
I think our beloved attorney has been licking too many stamps in his free time.
Fuck you! It says stamp! It says, there's an enclosed stamp! There's a fucking...
Right, but I don't think it's talking about the stamp. It wasn't the stamp in the picture frame? Don't we present the picture frame?
Oh yeah, but we have no proof that there was a stamp in that.
Well, why do we think there was a stamp in there?
Well, we're talking about the stamp!
Well, I know, but didn't at some point we confirm there was a stamp in there?
Well, we just know it's tiny. We just assume there was, because there was an enclosed stamp in the envelope, and there's a picture frame with the stamp, and you specifically wanted them to use the enclosed stamp, so then fucking stamp in tiny frame. Well, that's only a cute little frame, and by little, I mean really little. It's on the victim's desk, Your Honor. Quite empty, as you can see for yourself.
I noticed that too during my inspection. So what?
Apparently you weren't as observant as you should have been. See, when you saw this frame, it was missing something quite important. Missing something? Yes, a pale blue stain on the inside of the frame. Actual quinine residue.
What? Why wasn't I told about this? Because we don't like you.
The frame is only 2 inches square. The face of the frame is even smaller. Maybe an inch wide at most.
You aren't saying.
Oh, but I am. Tell me, what fits in such a small frame? A commemorative stamp, perhaps? Order! Order! Poison stamp was in this frame.
Impossible.
Prosecute Gabby.
Why would he put something like that on his desk? Don't tell me he had it there so we could commit suicide if the mood struck.
You know, can I say something? I had a thought, you see?
What, Mr. Blusher? And please, stop jittering around like that.
The victim was a forger, right? There's a lot of money in that line of work. Forger forges friends, makes enemies too. End quote.
The poison stamp might have been a murder weapon aimed at him.
Oh, Rich. That's rich. Leave the ridiculous flights of fancy to the Gaviner's song lyrics, please.
Find something we agree on.
The stamp was a murder weapon? Nonsense. Murder is a simple business. Who would go to such lengths? No one.
No, I disagree.
Come again?
Call, if you would, the victim's reclusive lifestyle. Drew Meacham hid from the world. He avoided meetings. His only contact with the outside world was the mail. The mail? Now, if you wanted to kill someone you couldn't meet, but you knew read letters, a stamp would be the perfect weapon.
Ridiculous. Where's your proof? I want proof.
Oh, now do you want the letter? Now do you want the letter?
Show us evidence that this poison stamp was sent to him as a murder weapon.
Okay, so you didn't want me to prove the existence of the stamp, I do the frame, but of course to prove it killed him, I'm going to send the letter, of course. No evidence to say, but things are finally starting to come together. What is it, Apollo? Fists are trembling. I think I know what happened. I don't believe it, but I can see it. More quick saving. I think I know Mr. Meacham was killed. Well, fill us in, Mr. Justice. Some piece of evidence points to the truth, Your Honor. Show you someone with the intent to kill sent Mr. Meacham the stamp of death. Now do you want the laugh? Now do you want the red envelope? Ain't this the envelope? The one from 7 years ago? Think about the text of the letter again. There are 2 pages in the envelope. There's page 1. And there's page 2. I draw your attention to this one phrase in particular. Send in the enclosed envelope with the enclosed stamp within 3 days. The enclosed stamp, Your Honor. Ah!
In other words, if I have this straight, the stamp, poison, on the stamp, lick, lick, gasp, end quote.
Now, what if he had done exactly as the letter asked? He had signed the document, put in the envelope, and put the stamp on it, right? And put it in his letter box. 15 minutes wouldn't have elapsed between affixing the stamp and mailing the letter. The clock started ticking, and when the time came, he drew his last breath. And the murder weapon would be taken away from the scene. Quite conveniently, thanks to the postal system.
Such a splendid imagination you have, Herr Forehead. Let me confirm one thing with you, if I might. So this poison stamp was inside this envelope from 7 years ago? Yeah? Is that what you'd have us believe? Really?
Well, that's a little bit of a stretch, but there's a possibility.
Yes, a very small possibility. How small, I wonder. A poison stamp in this envelope, a stamp that then became the murder weapon. How do you intend to prove the seeming coincidence?
Well, 7 years ago, I don't know who sent that letter.
And your answer is silence. I see. Very well. I move to... It's not nice to pick on the Fraulein, Clavier.
Why is he here?
Oh, god damn it.
What the Emma?
Wait, who? Huh?
Huh? Huh? Was he a ghost? Emma?
Well, like my Christoph Gavin impression.
What the?
I sounded more like Phoenix Wright, honestly, but I tried.
This girl walks in and fucking does an impression of fucking Clavia's brother who's in jail. Just randomly. Why?
Well, I mean, he is a big part of this case.
I know. Like, why? Why would you do that, Emma? Don't quit your day job.
Don't you have a crime scene to be looking after, Fraulein, detective? Someone had to come dig you out of all the mess you're making of this case.
Mess?
You know, none of this would happen if you just trusted in science a little more. You can find out if that stamp was in that envelope easy. Care to explain yourself, Fraulein detective? Glare at me all you want, but science is on my side. It's all in the residue, right?
That's right. The poison detection spray.
Poison detection.
Use the right envelope at once. You can open it on the authority of the court.
Let's play this shit. There it is, there it is, there it is.
Oh, would you look at that?
No mistaking it. That's atroquinine residue. Now I'm having trouble saying the words.
I don't believe it. A murder weapon from the past. Now, 7 years later, it bears its fangs at last.
Absolutely outrageous. Tell me why.
Tell me why. Ain't nothing.
Why didn't this murder take place 7 years ago? There's one possibility. Maybe Mr. Misham figured it out.
Figured what out?
He realized that the person who sent that letter wanted him dead. So he sent his reply with a different stamp.
Opposed decisive evidence, and free. You're still here?
Can I make a statement here on the record? I, Spark Razor Toothbrushel, claim this scoop as mine. Drew Misham killed in cold blood. By sender of 7-year-old letter. End quote. No, maybe something more succinct. Star falls after 7-year delay. End quote.
That's a pretty good headline, honestly.
Order, order, order. See no room for further argument. I admit this all coming as quite a shock. To think that the murder weapon reaches his mouth after 7 years. Stamp his ticket straight to afterlife. End quote.
I think this is a bad
You no need for further debate on this matter. So that letter 7 years ago could hardly have been finished.
Apollo.
I think we just won. Very well. Let's call find the defendant.
I ain't going out like that, Your Honor. Is this the bright future of our legal system?
Prosecutor Gavin?
A ticket to the afterlife from 7 years ago. Tickets for Gaviner's shows are invalid after 2 weeks. Wasn't a jury supposed to be deciding this case?
Yeah, yeah.
It doesn't make sense any other way.
It boggles my mind that so many people haven't noticed this. There's a fatal contradiction in Herr Forehead's claim.
A contradiction?
I know how to spot a contradiction. A poison stamp was placed in this envelope 7 years ago, whereupon it was framed until now. If that's the case, then why would Drew Misham have done what he did?
Emma explained that. He must have realized it was poison.
No, dumbass. Therein lies the rub. 7 years ago, the forger Drew Misham sensed the trap and put the stamp in a frame. I do not debate this, but this begs the question. Why, 7 years later, did he use that stamp on the night of the murder? Surely you don't mean to suggest that Mr. Misham simply forgot. He put the murder weapon in a frame on his desk for 7 years and forgot. You expect us to believe he sprang the trap on himself?
Well, I admit this is all quite shocking myself. It does seem highly unlikely that I would fall afoul of a trap that had been sitting on his desk for 7 years. Apollo! Don't think we're winning anymore.
I'm glad to see we're all back in the real world now. Welcome back to reality. We've been waiting for you.
And how do you explain the poison stamp that was in this envelope?
The poison stamp? Where exactly is this poison stamp again? Have you brought it to court for us?
What the fuck are you talking about?
I see no proof that such a thing ever existed.
We have very much proof that it existed. But the
Actually, we just have speculation.
atroquinine residue, huh?
Oh, I agree. That does seem to be a troquinine residue. Blood hair forehead. It's certainly no stamp.
It's in the shape of a stamp, dumbass. Yeah, but...
Even if your precious poison stamp did exist, Drew Mission never would have used it. That is all.
Oh. I believe we've come to a conclusion again. Apollo, were we wrong the whole time? I can't believe it. Poison trace matched up. It can't be coincidence. I'd like to bring some closure to this issue sometime this year. Mr. Justice? Yes, Your Honor. Let's review the facts. See where we stand. 7 years ago, Drew Mission received a written envelope. The trace of poison atroquinine. Atroquinine. On the document inside the envelope. Similar trace was also found at the crime scene. On this tiny picture frame, the defense has indicated the possibility of a yellow envelope. An envelope that left the scene of crime with the poison stamp on it.
Yes, but even if this envelope contained a poison stamp, and Drew Misham, knowing this, put it in a frame, he never would have used that stamp.
I'm afraid you're right. At least there's a fatal flaw in the defense's case. I haven't been on the wrong track this whole time, I'm sure of it. The trace of atroquinine, the envelope, the frame, Drew Misham's mysterious death, all connected somehow. Well, Mr. Judge, do you have a conclusion for us? The defense stands by its case, Your Honor. We've seen that the logical outcome of the evidence makes no sense. This means that one of our clues must be a fake.
Ah, a fake clue. Fascinating. And if we find this fake, your wild fantasies will prove quite reasonable, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fake clue that's thrown us off this poison trail is none other than, the frame, perchance? Drew Misham was fake all along. He's not real.
Not anymore.
Red envelope could also be fake. Let's go with the frame. This frame is the fake clue. That I doubt, Your Honor.
Wasn't it you who presented this evidence to the court?
I'm presenting all this evidence to the court. Hold on a second, Apollo. Poison is on the envelope, that frame, and the coffee mug. They're all connected somehow. Oh, wait. Well, if you think all of them are fake, was Drew Misham the fake? What, was Drew himself the fake? The victim was a fake clue? I'll explain. We have an envelope, a frame, and a mug linked by poison. That all makes sense. What doesn't make sense is the victim himself. This.
Congratulations. You've completely lost me. So the fake evidence is none other than the master of fake himself, the forger? It makes a good story, I'll give you that.
Fake clue, fakes, forgeries. Ah! I know that face. That's the I just had an idea face. Don't know if I'm right, but I'm going with it anyway. What if our forger is the fake?
Come again.
7 years ago, our forger sniffed a trap and stepped aside. 7 years passed. Now the forger stumbles into that very same trap and dies. Why? That's what I want to know. Because the forger who was killed was a fake.
Here we go again. The victim was a fake.
One forger smelled the trap, one forger fell into the trap. That's 2 forgers and one of them was a fake.
But he was really a forger, so he's not a fake. He was just a fake of the forger.
Order! Order! Order!
So you were telling us that Drew Mission, the victim, was a fake? Well, if he was the fake, who was the real forger? You'd better not be claiming there was some kind of switcheroo.
I'm afraid you're going to have to back up your story. Mr. Judges, just who the real Drew Mission was. Drew Mission wasn't the real forger. Then I'm going to save the game.
What do you mean, save the game?
Bring one of the pussy called Ben. Understanding, honey. For the Drew Mission himself was a forger. The real forger was... Oh, I don't think it could
The
be...
real... Okay, wait, okay. So what are we... So Drew Misham is really Drew Misham and he's really dead. It's not like somebody was posing as Drew Misham and then
someone
died.
else was the
Someone
forger.
else was the...
19. I don't think she could be the forger 7 years ago.
And these are the only possibilities we have?
Yes. We can immediately rule out Fusi, Vera, Emma, Clavier, and Drew. I don't think she was the forger at 12 years old.
I mean,
I doubt it.
No, I'm not saying it's her. But
I don't think it's Phoenix. Especially since it relates to a case 7 years ago. I don't think he was the forger himself. Phoenix hasn't been known to forge. This guy is new. He could forge. He's a magician. This guy could probably forge.
I'm so confused, though. But I mean, all the forgeries and the letter and everything was at Drew Misham's house. That almost makes it seem like it should be his daughter.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. My 2 top guesses are Vera and Valent.
Well, unless I'm misunderstanding what's going on, because everything's located at that apartment, I mean, I feel like it's got to be Vera.
I mean, yeah, probably. I mean, to be fair, we're talking about like a switch 7 years ago, potentially, maybe. Or maybe. No, like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm somewhat confused.
I mean, like, 7 years ago, Valent could have been in that spot.
Yeah, but there's still forged paintings there.
Yeah.
And Drew Misham is still an artist. I mean, that's not...
That's good. Really
That's why at first I thought Drew Misham realized the trap and he, like, got a body double or something and that guy died.
Yeah.
But I guess that's not what we're saying.
Let's try Vera. There can be only one explanation, really. The identity of the forger known as Drew Misham is none other than his only daughter, Vera Misham. Order! Order! Mr. Justice, this is going out on a limb, even for you. Kind of agree, I mean, Vera, a forger? Consider before you write it off entirely. If you look at the paintings in the studio, one fact becomes quite clear. Forgery had been taking place in that studio for quite some time. Forger wasn't caught in that trap 7 years ago. It could only mean that the one who was caught in the trap wasn't the forger. Well, actually, that does make a certain kind of sense. One more thing. Only 2 sets of fingerprints found in the forger's studio. Drew Misham's and Vera Misham's. We know that Drew Misham wasn't the forger. There's only one possibility for the process of elimination. The forger was Vera Misham. Well...
Fascinating.
Vera Misham? paying attention so far.
Let's just ask her and be done with it, shall we? Who are you? I really want to know. Who are you? Who is the forger? Drew Misham.
Is that expression of emotion I saw on her face? She's staring holes in Prosecutor Gavin's face.
I'm used to being stared at by Fraulines, believe me. Though they usually talk to me, too. Tell us, were you the one who forged those works of art? Yes.
So the forger Drew Misham was you?
Yes, it was me.
What? What?
The fuck?
Calls in an uproar. I wasn't coming down. We had a break for a 10-minute recess. Oh, thanks for watching this episode of Gabby Game Night. Like, comment, subscribe. Good to have fans there, mother morning.
The fuck?
Good night.
Gabby the Game Night, Gabby the Game Night, Gabby the Game Night, yay. Come on and watch her play. New games every other day. If you subscribe now, you won't miss out on any of the action. So come on, click that subscribe button.